Any rabbits out there? Hmm? Any rabbits? Bunny rabbits? Bunny rabbits. So you're sleeping, yeah, and the dog starts barking. Yes, that's you. You're jolted out of a sleep, and you know how it is when you're jolted out of a sleep. You've got to get your bearings, and so I look out the passenger side of the window, and I see a light coming around the back end of my van, flashlight, and I look out the other side of the window to see what's going on, and I see headlights, but I also see another flashlight coming from the driver's side rear. And so I've got somebody coming from the passenger side and somebody coming from the driver's side, and it was the police. So I didn't get a knock, I got flashlighted. So my window on my driver's side does not roll down, so I've got that little triangular one that I can open. And meanwhile, Wilson's going ballistic because he doesn't know who's coming up to our van, and there's a guy on one side and a guy on the other, and oh my gosh, they're gonna take my mom, or something's gonna happen. And so he's just going ballistic. And I open up the side window, and he asked me for my driver's and registration, and so I'm getting that out, and all the commotion and chaos, and I handed out the window, and then the other guy on the other side, I opened up the window on the passenger side there by the door, and the police officer was so nice. He talked to Wilson, and he said, "It's okay, buddy," and I was trying to calm down the dog, and he asked what I was doing, and I said, "Well, I'm just parked here for the night." And he asked if I was okay, and I said, "Yeah, I'm living in my vehicle, and I just got it." And I think it was in January sometime when I was in my Honda, it was a really, really, really cold night. I think it went down to -52 with the wind chill. And I had just gotten up and started up the vehicle, and with that vehicle, when you started it up, the lights would come on, and I had a police officer come up, no lights, just came up, got out, and came over with his little flashlight, and asked if I was okay, and gave him my vehicle registration and my driver's license, and asked what I was doing, and he wanted to look in the back because I had it blacked out, and Wilson was very persistent, and he jumped back a couple of times. But he was so cold, he said, "No, it's okay, never mind. You have a good night," and he said, "You stay safe, stay warm." So it was more or less a wellness check, and I think with the two officers, it was a wellness check too, which is kind of nice to know that they're patrolling the area. I don't see them very often, but then my head's in the pillow at 2 o'clock in the morning. But it was startling. It's rough when you get abruptly woken in your sleep. It's unsettling and especially I didn't see any lights on. I just saw headlights at the corner of my vehicle. I really couldn't pull forward because I was kind of tucked up to a transport truck. I try to pull in between transport trucks so nobody can pull in behind me or in front of me. That way there's no horseplay by anybody that's out maliciously at night. It's just a safety tip I guess I could pass on. I don't know, they could probably pull up beside you and block you in, but that's deep thinking. Sometimes you have to deep think. But the two officers were really, really super nice, and they asked if I had seen any suspicious activity going on in the area, and I did the other night with a truck. I think he had passed me a couple of times because Wilson had woken up barking, and he just doesn't randomly wake up barking. He has to have some vehicle beside me. We've been parked, and the driver ed people always seem to target my vehicle, and they'll pull up right beside me and then do their parallel parking practice, and that he'll bark at that. So I know when he barks, and it's usually because something's right by the vehicle. So when he woke me up the other night and I saw this truck go by me a few times and turn around, I just had to be on my alert awareness mode. But everything worked out, so I didn't get a knock, so I can't even put that down on my video heading or title because it wasn't a knock. We got flashlighted. I guess I'll just title it, "We Got Flashlighted." Anyway, everybody, have a great day. It's cloudy here this morning, but it's still fairly warm. I found it a little bit chillier last night. I woke up to a wet blanket in my face, so I know when my blanket gets wet, it's from my exhalation, and all the condensation on the blanket soaks it. So I can kind of tell the temperatures, how cold it is, by my blanket. And we didn't turn on the heater last night, so we got through, and I went and got a coffee this morning and decided I'd head over to my storage unit and switch out some clothes and add to my laundry bag that's in there, which I've got to get done here pretty quick. But have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you soon.